size, yes.
Her kids and her sister Erica haven't had water since November. DeKalb County shut it off because of a water bill the size of Texas, $344,000. On the upside, the family is learning a lot about water conservation. They use bottled water to do the dishes, to brush their teeth, and to use the bathroom. They go to a friend's house to do laundry and bathe.
How are you doing?
A little bit embarrassed to try not to cry on camera, but a little bit, I'm not doing too good.
Alexis rents. She has landlords, but the bill is in her name.
I'm in panic mode.
$20,000 to $30,000 a month, going all the way back to January 28th, 2020. And DeKalb Watershed knew about it. They left a note on her door indicating a possible leak. You think?
First off, I don't have this money, and then second off, like, how did he even get to this? Because again, I'm using my water as normal.
Alexis should have reported the leak to the property owners immediately, but she made the mistake of waiting over a month, and by that time, the COVID-19 pandemic took off.
I was working 2 jobs at the time. I had 2 small kids.
$100,000, $200,000. Alexis made several maintenance requests to check for a leak, but no one found it. And DeKalb let it go because there was a pandemic moratorium on water shutoffs. Here's why they couldn't find the leak. It was over there, but instead of draining into the yard, it was draining directly into the sewer below. 2.5 years later, here it is, the leak that caused this mess. When new owners bought the property, they sent their crew to fix it. But Alexis doesn't have water, and DeKalb's decision to reduce the bill to $188,000 doesn't help. It offered her a payment plan.
For what, life?
Because there are so many factors involved, Atlanta News First Investigates asked DeKalb County to restore water, and it did. The county agreed to put the bill in dispute until this case is resolved.
Wow. So she racked up a $300,000 bill. It doesn't fall on the landlord because her name was attached to the bill, even though she's renting this residence. Okay. They had someone that came and was like, you may have a possible leak. Now, my thing is this. Also, when you are looking and you're seeing like, okay, this person's bill is kind of high. There's no one to be like, yo, is there something going on? Y'all got a lot of pool parties. I mean, what's going on? Because your bill is extremely high. You know, there's no one to go and say this. There's no one to go over there and be like, what happened? Is everything okay? What's going on? All right. So I thought that was interesting. I guess the landlord didn't see it. But my thing is also this. It appeared that, and we're going to replay this video and I'm going to stop it and have my commentary. But it appeared that the landlord already knew that this leak was happening because they said that they sent their crew over and it wasn't fixed. So wouldn't that also be your responsibility for this too? I mean, this is your property, for crying out loud. That's your property, you know? So how does that work? If I'm paying the bill, I'm making sure the stuff is being paid, and then this is happening. Also something, because they said they put it on, then it was a month later that she actually, you know, had the time to go and call them. And let's keep it real. People get busy. She said she had 2 little kids and she was working 2 jobs. People are busy. People are tired. That's not the number one thing on their priority list. You know, and she probably seen that first bill, was like, yo, what's going on? Okay, let me go and see what's happening here. And obviously now you're seeing that they have to keep using bottled water to do everything. They want to take a shower or wash clothes. They have to go to a friend's house to go and do that as well. And the city is just like, well, I could go and, I guess I could reduce it from 300,000 to 100 and some thousand, which means you could make this bill zero. If you could literally take that much out, you can make the bill zero too. But let's go and replay this, and I'm going to stop it at certain points.
Alexis Jones,
Both sides, yes.
kids, and her sister Erica haven't had water since November. DeKalb County shut it off because of a water bill the size of Texas. $344,000. On the upside, the family is learning a lot about water conservation. They use bottled water to do the dishes, to brush their teeth, and to use the bathroom. They go to a friend's house to do laundry and bathe.
How are you doing?
A little bit embarrassed to try not to cry on camera, but a little bit, I'm not doing too good.
Alexis rents. She has landlords, but the bill is in her name.
I'm in panic mode.
$20,000 to $30,000 a month, going all the way back to January 28th, 2020.
$2,000 to $3,000 a month, and no one was like, okay, what's going on? Oh, we sent the guy to put a little thing on your door. Yeah, but if you're doing that, that means someone's looking at these bills. And for me, I would have been like, yo, let me go and ring, ring, ring. Why is your bill $2,000, $3,000? I mean, is there something going on? Or that's what have happened. Obviously, we know that the Roro delayed this for her, which obviously made it much worse for her situation.
And DeKalb Watershed knew about it. They left a note on her door indicating a possible leak.
So it's saying there's a possible leak. They knew. This is what I'm saying. So if y'all knew that this is what was going on and you're saying, oh, I mean, we see that there's a possible leak, why wouldn't you not go and then be like, yo, instead of just putting a little note on the door, can't you send an email? Can't you go and give a call or something more? Can't you go in the mail, send a thing being like, yo, we think you have a possible leak. Okay. And this is our second time. Your bill is $2,000, $3,000 per month. So unless you're doing some crazy stuff over there, you may want to give us a call. And I feel like this is something that should have gone in the mail for this purpose.
You think?
First off, I don't have this money. And then second off, like, how did you even get to this? Because again, I'm using my water as normal.
Alexis should have reported the leak to the property owners immediately, but she made the mistake of waiting over a month, and by that time, the COVID-19 pandemic took off.
Yes. So that's also another thing. When you see this kind of stuff, it will behoove you to do it immediately. Okay. But she didn't go to the property's owners, but she did it a month later. You may still be like, oh, but that's still $2,000, $3,000. Yeah, so how did it skyrocket? Because COVID delayed everything, or so they claim, want to blame everything on that. But they were saying it delayed everything. So she was still in the right. They still were charging her for all this water that was leaking out. And the only way that she got any level of justice, I get kind of getting her water usage back, was by going to the news. And that's why with a lot of these little things that happens, different tiffs between people and companies, I recommend going to the news station, because a lot of these companies don't want that smoke. They don't, you could say whatever you want to say about the news, be like, oh, well, they're biased and this and that and whatever. I don't care about all the politics that surround everything else. I'm talking about when you have stories like this, it will behoove you to actually go to the news station for whatever the reason is, okay? Because they will start putting some pressure on these people's necks. Be like, okay, fine, let's turn the water on. Okay, well, fine, let's reduce it. They weren't going to do it before, but now they're like, oh, okay, now we got a few thousand, 100,000, possibly million people looking at the story. Okay, let me go and help out. Because they're not going to want to just give you money, okay?
I was working 2 jobs at the time. I had 2 small kids.
100,000, 200,000. Alexis made several maintenance requests to check for a leak, but no one found it. And
she made several maintenance requests to check for the leak, but no one found it. How was that her fault? From my understanding, the owners of this property did it, and then, the person repaired it. and then she repaired it, which it wasn't repaired. And she had multiple people come over and still nothing. So why am I still responsible for something if no one's finding the solution to it? You know what I mean? For something like this.
DeKalb let it go because there was a pandemic moratorium on water shutoffs. Here's what.
So they didn't care. Okay. Well, I need someone to come down here and I mean we just don't have the head count. We'll just push it to later and then later and then later and then later, and now you got a $300,000 bill.
They couldn't find the leak. It was over there, but instead of draining into the yard, it was draining directly into the sewer below. 2.5 years later, here it is, the leak that caused this mess. When new owners bought the property, they sent their crew to fix it. But Alexis doesn't have water, and DeKalb's decision to reduce the bill to $188,000 doesn't help. It offered her a payment plan.
For what, life?
Because there are so many factors involved, Atlanta News First Investigates asked DeKalb County to restore water, and it did. The county agreed.
And this is why it says important. If you got something like this, take it to a news station. They are more than willing to listen to your story and see what they can do about it. Okay, because they got journalists, they got investigators. They need the content anyways. So why not go and try to help your situation?
Agreed to put the bill in dispute until this case is resolved.
Yeah, so, overall it's very upsetting come on. Who has $300,000? Who has $188, almost $190,000, to just spend for water that they didn't even use? You know what I mean? And now they're over here using bottled water. They can't even take a shower in their own place because it requires too much water. And they got to go to the home girl to go and do all that. Who wants to deal with all that? But yeah, overall, I'm happy that, she reached out to these people so that they could be like, okay, this is what her receipts look like. She's not necessarily in the wrong. Okay, so let's try to rectify it. But let me know what you all think down below. Hello. I would greatly appreciate it if you can actually support my little small business called Latrice Limited. It is on latricelimited.com. So as you can see right here, I actually sell candles and a wide variety of other items as well. This is my big forehead, okay? But I actually want to show you just a couple of different items that I do sell. This is actually going to be a part of my soap collection that I have. As you can see, I have a variety of different soaps on here. I actually have 2 pages worth of soaps. And everything is handmade, okay, natural, clean ingredients as well. You can also see right here, these are my candles, all right? They're all handmade, everything. Vanilla, sweet roses, sage and vanilla and sweet roses are actually my favorite scents that I do have. I also have a few other items on here. I'm actually going to go and show you all the bath bombs that I do have. As you all can see, there's eucalyptus and sage, sweet pea harmony, and so many more. And then we're just going to finish off on the gift sets that I have. There's a variety of them, from like the big ones like this for $45, and then you have some of the smaller ones, and you have these itty bitty ones down here that includes essential oil blends. Definitely shop with your girl. Definitely help your girl out. I would greatly appreciate it. This is like my little baby over here, okay? I would greatly appreciate it, and enjoy.